Welcome to the Ontario Mortgage and Real Estate Insights podcast, your go-to source for the latest developments, trends, and regulatory changes in the industry. I'm your host, Steve Hamoan, here to provide you with insights sourced from reputable news outlets to help you stay informed and make well-informed decisions.
This podcast is brought to you by Real Approved Inc., a trusted mortgage brokerage dedicated to helping Canadians achieve their homeownership dreams. Visit realapproved.ca to learn more about how our experienced team can assist you with your mortgage needs. Let's dive into today's episode.
Our first story today revolves around a confidential memo that was sent to the federal cabinet last June, revealing that the Liberal government's housing targets were unrealistic. Despite public assurances that their strategy was unlocking the door to the middle class, the memo acknowledged that the construction industry could not meet the demand for affordable housing.
That is quite a revelation, Steve. The document highlights that Canada would need to build an additional 3.5 million housing units by 2030 to meet the demand, on top of the 2.3 million already projected. That's a huge increase, and it seems like a daunting task, given the current state of the construction industry.
Absolutely, Janine. The memo pointed out that the current construction rate of 220,000 new homes per year would need to jump to 700,000 per year, which is a staggering 220% increase. It really underscores the challenges we're facing in the housing market.
And it's not just about numbers. The memo also addressed how homeownership has become out of reach for many first-time buyers. Since the pandemic began, the average home price in Canada has risen by nearly 30%, which is a significant barrier for young Canadians trying to enter the market.
The rising costs of construction and the unprecedented population growth are major factors contributing to this crisis. The document noted that the cost of building a home has increased by 58%. And with more people than ever, demand is outpacing supply.
It's a tough situation, Steve. The memo also mentioned that Canadian households are spending more than 55% of their income on housing, the highest level in over 40 years, and the rental vacancy rate is at a historic low of 1.5%. It's becoming increasingly difficult for people to find affordable housing, whether they're looking to buy or rent.
Indeed, Janine. The memo was sent to then Housing Minister Sean Fraser just a month after he committed to tackling the crisis. However, he later announced he would not seek re-election and was removed from the cabinet. It paints a picture of a government struggling to meet its promises in the face of harsh realities.
It's a reminder that while the intentions might be good, the execution and planning need to match the ambition. We need solutions that are not only visionary, but also practical and achievable in the current economic climate.
Our next story takes us to Barrie, Ontario, which has recently been ranked among the province's safer cities for homeownership, according to a report by Zoocasa. This analysis considered both property crime rates and housing prices, providing potential homebuyers with valuable insights.
That's right, Steve. The report utilized data from the Fraser Institute, which compared property crime trends in Canadian and American urban areas. Property crimes include break and enters, motor vehicle thefts, and general thefts. The average property crime rate in Canadian urban areas is 2,588 per 100,000 people, which is 8% lower than the rate in the United States.
It's interesting to note that despite Southern Ontario's reputation for higher housing prices, Barrie stands out as an appealing option for those prioritizing safety in home ownership. With an average home price of $760,575, it's considerably more affordable than Toronto, where the average price is over $1 million at $1,041,219.
Absolutely, Steve. And it's important to remember that safety is a crucial factor for many when choosing where to live. The fact that Barrie is highlighted as a safe city for owning property is reassuring for potential buyers who might be looking for a balance between affordability and security.
The report also compared Barrie to other cities across Canada. For instance, Lethbridge, Alberta recorded the highest property crime rates. Meanwhile, cities like Vancouver and Calgary are also among the top locations for property-related offenses. In Ontario, Belleville and St. Catharines, Niagara join Barrie as safer options for homeowners.
It's great to see Barrie being recognized alongside other safe cities, Steve. For those who are open to moving beyond Ontario, more affordable options exist in provinces like Quebec and New Brunswick. Cities such as Saguenay and St. John offer lower home prices at $333,310 and $332,480, respectively.
Indeed, Janine. The combination of affordability and safety makes Barrie a strong contender for anyone considering homeownership in Ontario. It's essential for buyers to weigh these factors carefully to make informed decisions that align with their priorities and financial goals. Our final story today focuses on the Canadian dollar, which has seen a slight dip against the United States dollar following projections of lower growth in the United States economy by the Federal Reserve. The loonie, as the Canadian dollar is often called, was trading 0.1% lower at 1.4310 per United States dollar, or 69.88 United States cents.
It's interesting to see how interconnected the global economies are, Steve. Even a projection from the Federal Reserve can have ripple effects on the Canadian currency. The Fed decided to hold interest rates steady, but they signaled that they might reduce borrowing costs by 0.5 percentage point by the end of the year. This comes as they anticipate slower economic growth and a potential downturn in inflation.
Exactly, Janine. Eric Bregar, Director of Foreign Exchange and Precious Metals Risk Management at Silver Gold Bull, noted that the bond market seems to be focusing on this lower growth outlook. Even with the Fed only indicating 2 rate cuts this year, the market appears to be pricing in the possibility of 3 cuts. It's a complex situation that requires careful observation.
And it's not just the Federal Reserve's actions influencing the currency markets. The US dollar has been bolstered by geopolitical events as well, such as Turkey detaining President Tayyip Erdogan's main political rival. This has resulted in a stronger dollar impacting the Canadian dollar and other major currencies.
That's a good point, Janine. The broader strength of the US dollar is being driven by these global factors, making it a challenging environment for the Canadian dollar. Domestically, Canada's population growth has slowed due to a government crackdown on immigration last year, which could also play a role in economic performance.
Indeed, Steve. It's also worth noting that Canadian inflation rose more than expected in February, which can have significant implications for the economy. Bank of Canada Governor Tiff Macklem is set to speak soon about tariff-related uncertainties, adding another layer of complexity to the economic outlook.
With Canadian bond yields easing and tracking moves in US Treasuries, it's clear that these economic indicators are interconnected. It's crucial for investors and homeowners alike to stay informed about these developments as they navigate their financial decisions.
Absolutely, Steve. Staying informed is key. The financial landscape can change rapidly, and understanding the nuances of these shifts helps individuals make better decisions for their future.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Ontario Mortgage and Real Estate Insights podcast. We hope you found today's insights valuable as you navigate the world of mortgages and real estate.
Before you go, a quick reminder. Real Approved is here to make your mortgage journey smoother. Whether you're buying your first home or refinancing, their experienced team is ready to guide you with personalized support every step of the way. Visit realapproved.ca to get started and take the next step toward achieving your homeownership goals. Catch you next time and stay informed with the latest industry insights.